Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Liquis Digital Marketing Podcast. This is episode 25, and today we are talking about social media posting strategies based on your goals. We're going to break this down for you today. We're going to be talking about all types of stuff here. We're going to break down your social media platforms and different strategies and recommended posting and things to think about. We're going to be talking about, ways and things to consider to make your content be more viral, how to make it more effective, how often you should be posting, what type of quality should you be posting, tools, things to consider. So we have a lot. As we jump into this, I'm just going to start off with the very biggest thing that if you were to take anything away from this episode, it's this one item. And I'm just going to put it out here in the beginning. I'm not going to make you wait the whole time, and I'll probably keep repeating this. When it comes to social media, consistency is key. It doesn't matter what the secret formula is to have the best organic growth on these platforms. It doesn't matter if that formula doesn't work for you, because if it doesn't work for you, then it's not going to work. One of the top reasons people fail in social media is because they get burnt out and they stop too short. And some of the main reasons people burn out is because they start too big, they come in without a plan, and they let the numbers drive their emotions. That right there is key. It's these three things that if you can get them aligned, you're going to set yourself up for success. Consistency is key. So with that being said, when you start out to post on social media, you really want to come up with a plan. And to have a plan, you need to know what your goals are. Think about what your goals are. Are your goals to list build? Are you trying to drive traffic to your website or maybe your podcast or maybe your store? Are you trying to be an influencer? Are you trying to do affiliate sales and marketing? Because all of these would maybe have a different approach, a different platform. Regardless of all of that, if you don't know what your goal is, the top three things that we talked about before, the having a plan, not starting too big, and letting the numbers drive your emotions are going to creep in. And here's how. Let's say your goal is to list build. Okay, well, if all of the actions that you're doing and what you're looking at, so let's say you're posting on a platform and you're watching your likes on, how many people are liking your post, and you're not getting the likes that you think you should be getting. Emotionally, you're thinking, well, I'm not getting this isn't working, as I'm not getting the results that I want. So you know what, this isn't working. I'm just going to quit. Well, the fact is if you knew your goal was to list build, you shouldn't be looking at necessarily the likes. You should be looking at your email list and is it growing? And at what rate is it growing? And when you do get people that subscribe to your list based through your social media, what content are you posting to drive that traffic? That's how you use the numbers. If you just use these vanity metrics that don't associate to your goal, then you're going to get burnt out. You're going to think it's not working. And that's a problem. Know your goals. Come in with a plan. Come in with look, this is what I'm trying to achieve. I don't care if I get 2 shares and 3 likes or whatever. As long as I'm working toward achieving this goal, then that's the goal. And if you're an influencer on social, well, then getting people following you and likes and engagement should be your number one metrics that you're measuring, not necessarily links to your website. Let's break down the platforms and talk about some different things that you should be thinking about. Let's start with Instagram. That seems to be that's where everybody wants to focus. That's the top one. Okay, so Instagram. This comes from Instagram, like an Instagram rep recently, and they recommend posting one post per day. Okay, so these numbers are weekly, except for the post. Post one per day, one carousel per day, which would include preferably 3 pictures in one video. Stories should be 8 to 12, with the first one of the day having your face and including polls or some sort of interactivity. Reels, 4 to 7 reels a week. Reels are going to give you more visibility. IGTV, 1 IGTV a week and 1 live a week. All right, so that's actually kind of doable. I mean, it can be a lot, right? 1 post per day. Actually, it's kind of like 2 posts per day, because according to this, it'd be a post and a carousel. So really, that's kind of 2 posts. That can be kind of a lot. And then you figure now you have 4 to 7 reels. So let's just say a reel a day. So, that adds up. With the live in IGTV, your lives actually kind of transition into IGTVs. So that kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone there. Let's talk about the different components of Instagram. So you have your posts and you have your carousels, and then you have your stories and reels. All right, let's talk about those. So let's start with reels. Reels is the new thing on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you obviously know what reels are, and they are short form vertical video. They're like Instagram's TikTok, right? So they're going to get you the most visibility than any other thing you're going to do on Instagram right now. They're really pushing Instagram, or they're really pushing the reels. So if you want to expand your visibility and your reach, you need to do reels on Instagram. Stories, those are going to be the item that keeps your current followers engaged with you and your profile. Same with the posts and carousels. So posts and carousels, you can add hashtags. You can get new followers from it, but mostly you're going to get most of your new followers from reels. And the stories, posts, and carousels are really to continue that engagement while they're on your profile or that platform. So Instagram can be a growth tool if you really focus on it and be consistent. If you're looking for growth, but you really need to incorporate reels into your strategy. Now, I'm going to level with you. I don't follow this, and maybe I should. I don't follow this breakdown. I'm not doing any lives or Instagram or IGTVs, which I probably should, but I don't. Because you know what? I could, but if I looked at my goals and what I'm trying to achieve, it's not, I don't necessarily need to. I might spend my time somewhere else. That's better. Okay. Reels, I am doing 3 to 5 reels a week. Stories, I'm not hitting quite the 8 to 12. I should be, but I'm not yet. And then the posts and carousels, I'm doing about a post a day. I'm not quite there, but I am growing. But here's the key is I have a plan. I know my goals, and I'm not starting too big. I'm not taking on more than I can't be consistent with. I can't necessarily do all the things I need to do and follow that Instagram schedule. I just can't. A lot of people can't. So the point is, it's not all or nothing. Pick something that works for you. If posting once per week is all you got, then that 1 post per week is better than no post per week. Start there and be consistent. Let's move on to the next one, and that is TikTok. I love TikTok. I swear it's one of my favorite platforms these days. If you're not on TikTok as a creator, you at least need to be on TikTok as a consumer, just to see what's going on out there. Because here's the problem. From a business owner standpoint, what I see is a lot of other business owners falling into the myth or the trap that it's an app for teenagers who are going to dance and sing, and that's so wrong. That's completely not what it is anymore. Maybe it was at one point. In fact, I came across a stat the other day, and there is 689 million users on TikTok as of right now. It's probably closer to, so it's close to 700 million users. And roughly 50% of users are under the age of 34. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like it's a young app. Well, you know what that means? The other 50% are over the age of 34. What? So that is guaranteed your audience is on the platform. And in fact, I see there is a guy out of, I believe it's Montana, that has a drywall. He does drywall, and he posts daily videos of him doing drywall and mudding up, these drywall. And he has millions of likes, and like a lot. I think he's just under 1 million followers, and he does drywall, and he has an online store where you can buy drywall supplies. So tell me he's not making some sales. And it's TikTok. Who would have thought? I'm sure if you were to say this contractor, there's no audience for me on TikTok, well, you would be wrong. Okay, so let's get back to like the strategy for TikTok. Posting to TikTok is the more the better. So the more you can post, the better. I do 3 to 5 videos per week, and I'm on a consistent growth rate. Some videos do better than others. You never really know. That's kind of the nature of TikTok. You could spend hours and hours on a video and it gets 500 views, and then you could spend 2 minutes on a video with an afterthought and it gets 100,000 views. Like, you really have, there are some things you can do to improve your views and your watch time, but the point is you never really know exactly which one's going to gain speed. I do 3 to 5 videos a week. Some people say that you should be doing a couple a day, like maybe even 3 to 5 videos a day. I think that's excessive. If you got that kind of time, then you probably are just an influencer. You're not necessarily a business owner. Like, that is your thing. That is what you do. And if you are an influencer and you're putting all of your stock and your value into the social platforms because you're an influencer, then yes, you should be posting 3 to 5 times a day. But for a business owner, if you can do 3 to 5 times a week, that's perfect. Also, what I've noticed is since I've been using TikTok, it's grown. It's been the number one growth factor for our Instagram and for our YouTube channel. It's helped grow those platforms just by posting on TikTok because we're getting that much more impressions out there. TikTok is a huge opportunity. It's a growing audience. It's still in its early stages. I mean, obviously, you just said there's millions and millions of people on there, but there's room for everybody. You got to get on there and you just got to start making videos. The other thing about TikTok is it has a long lifespan. So when you post a video, it might be a week or so before it really starts gaining speed. I have videos that I posted months ago that are still like increasing and getting more momentum. You just never know. When you're posting, the types of content to post to TikTok should be either entertaining or educational. So obviously entertaining, when that's where people are dancing or it's to music and they're pointing to stuff on the screen. I mean, that's not that bad. If you're dancing, I mean, it has to fit to what you're doing. Like, there's nothing worse when you go there and you see, some like dentist or chiropractor like dancing around his office room trying to fit in, and it doesn't fit the scene. It's, if they were to just be themselves and give the content that they know so well, that would go over so much more. So maybe it should be more educational and less entertaining. You can make educational entertaining. It's possible. I like to think I do it, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Twitter. Okay. So if you're on Twitter, then you like Twitter. I've never been a big Twitter guy. So the thing is with Twitter is there's really no magic number of like, oh, you should be posting this or tweeting this many times a day to get your followers. Honestly, more is better. It should be conversational. The thing with Twitter is your tweets have a short lifespan and it's just conversational. So, you have to be on the platform and using the platform. And if you are and it's working for you, great. It's one of those things where you're not going to go to Twitter and post once or twice a week and not be on that platform, connecting and communicating with other people and expect any return. So if you're not going to use Twitter for how it's designed, don't even install the app. That's my opinion. Okay, LinkedIn. People go to LinkedIn to connect and to learn. So the content you put out there should be educational content or connecting content. There's really no magic number of posts. Obviously, like with all of them, more is better. But if you can get on LinkedIn and you can post 3 to 5 times a week, I think that's really going to put you in a good place. And they have not too long ago released LinkedIn stories, so you can be posting on there. You know, I think LinkedIn is like posting out content that people are going to like and share, educational content, and then community, right? It's really connecting with other people. That's really what it's all about. All right, and then there's Pinterest. Pinterest you really need to treat Pinterest more like a search engine and less like a social media platform. Because honestly, that is what it is. It's a search engine. It's a visual search engine. And you should be using it like a search engine. You should be pinning, if you really want to maximize Pinterest, you need to be pinning 5 to 15 posts a day. And you're probably like, well, what the hell? How am I going to do that? Because I can't keep up with 1 post a week on Pinterest. And what do I pin? Well, there is an app called Tailwind that works beautifully with Pinterest. And basically, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, let's say I have 10 pages on my website. You want to go in and you want to create 5 pins for that page, and then 5 pins for the next page, and then 5 pins for the next page, maybe 10, maybe 15, whatever you can do. The beauty of Tailwind is it'll create pins for you. If you give it content, it'll go and style up, however, 5 to 10 different pins, and then you can schedule them to post. So if you spent, a half hour to an hour, you can have your pins set up for a month to automatically go out and pin to Pinterest 5 to 15 pins a day. It sounds like a lot, but what you're doing is it's all about search engine optimization. So you're optimizing these pins that are linking back to your site. So you're just driving traffic back to your site. Thinking of your goal, if your goal is to list build, if your goal is to drive traffic to your site or your shop, or if you're an affiliate marketer, great tool, super awesome tool. If you're an influencer, maybe not the best tool because maybe there's a way to leverage it for that, but mostly you're going to want to be on these other platforms. Also, Pinterest has it's not that new anymore, but a newer feature called Idea Pins, which is basically Pinterest's take on stories. So being able to do stories on Pinterest. All right, and then there's YouTube. So if you have video content, you should be putting it up to YouTube. Case in point, you should just if you have video content for your business, it should be on YouTube. It is a search engine. It's a video search engine. And it's owned by the biggest search engine, Google. You want to have your content up there. If you're not making content like YouTuber content and consistent YouTube videos, I get it. But what you can do if you are looking at doing these short form vertical videos like TikToks and Reels, what you need to do is take those videos and upload them to YouTube Shorts, which is YouTube's version of TikTok and Reels. And they're pushing it, and you are going to get a lot of visibility. And in fact, pro tip, if you create your short form vertical videos and keep them 30 seconds and less, you can take those, if you record them off of a platform without music, then what you can do is take each video and put it up to Instagram Reels, put it up to TikTok, put it up to Pinterest Pin Ideas. And by the way, Pinterest Pin Ideas get a ton of impressions, a ton. And then put it up to YouTube Shorts. And now you've repurposed all of that content with one video. It's beautiful. Tips for all platforms: you need to be conversational. You need to reply to every comment. On TikTok, when I get a comment, I reply to every comment as much as I can. Obviously, I have a smaller account, so I can't do that. Maybe if I had like 1 million followers, I wouldn't be able to keep up on it. But right, so you want to follow up and you want to be conversational. Instagram, same thing, right? You gotta keep on that. Okay, let's talk about these platforms and the algorithm and how they work. You have to think like the platform. So when it comes to Instagram Reels, when it comes to TikToks, and it comes to YouTube Shorts, these videos, what it's looking for is watch time. That's it. That's the key metrics. If you're not getting the watch time, then you're not going to get the views. So what it does is it puts it out to your followers, it puts it out to a smaller audience, and it sees how it does. If it does decent, it's going to move it up to the next block and give it a bigger audience. If it does decent there, it's going to move it up. And then it's just going to keep moving your video up as long as it's performing well. Their other goal of the platforms is they want to keep the visitor on the platform. So the more engagement that you're giving, the more shares that you're getting, the better results you're going to have. And in fact, I saw a stat recently to get on Instagram, to get on the Explore page. So that's like the Discover tab, or like when you go to search something, a hashtag, and you're exploring, it's not just what's on your feed. To get on those, it doesn't necessarily look at likes and shares and all of that. It looks at saves. So having content that people are saving, which is crazy. Also, the other thing to think about is when people engage with your content, they are going to see more of your content. So the way stories in Instagram works is the first section is going to be lives. Then after that is going to be your primary, and then you're going to have your secondary. The primary are the people that, one, you interact with frequently, and two, you've recently connected with, because they don't know exactly whether they're a primary or a secondary. So they're going to show your content stories to them to see if you're primary or secondary. So that's why posting stories and getting new followers and posting stories, if they're going to engage with you, it's kind of like, that timely thing. So keeping stories active, so as people engage with you, they're seeing your stories. And then there's the secondary. There's billions of people creating stories all the time. Okay, so that's, you got to think like the platform, think like the algorithm. What are they trying to get you to do? They want you to stay on the platform. Okay, so let's talk about what are some things you can do to make your content be more viral? I'm just going to really focus on one thing here, because it's really, I feel like it's the main thing, and it's a lot of times what people miss. And it's the first 3 to 5 seconds of your content. And it's the hook. What is it that's going to capture them to stop scrolling? Or if it's even the first slide of your carousel, what's going to make them stop and start scrolling through your carousel? If it's your video, what is it that's going to make them stop and listen to more of your video? It's that hook. Your hook needs to be captivating, and it needs to draw them in and, create something that they're missing, or something that they should be getting, or how you did X to achieve Y, or, there's a ton of hooks, and I should probably do a video on, good hook. It's the hook that you want to focus on. That is what's going to get your video to be more viral, the number one thing. Regardless of how good your content is, if the hook doesn't drive them into it, then it doesn't matter, because they scrolled right by it and they didn't see it. The magic is in the hook. All right. How can you make your social media post more effective when it comes to achieving your goals? Number one thing is to have your goal and to have a call to action in all of it. So what is your goal on posting this to social media? What do you want them to do? That is your call to action. Do you want them to go sign up for your free download? Do you want them to go listen to your podcast? Do you want them to visit your site, or do you want them to read a blog post? Do you want them to like and follow and share? What is it that you want them to do? Because you need to tell them. And if you don't tell them, they're going to scroll. If you tell them, they're going to do it. Well, most likely they're going to be more apt to do it. The other thing that's going to make your social media more impactful and help you achieve your goals is to have a good bio. And we actually have I think we have a whole podcast on social media bios. So go back and listen to that. I don't know what episode it was, but dial that in, because that's one of the first things people see when they go to your profile is your bio. They're going to see who you are and whether they should follow you or not. And then you need to have a good link in your bio. If you have to have, if you're a business, you have some call to action, and you need to have that link go to whatever that call to action is. If it's to download a free download, then make sure that's it. If you have a shop, make sure they're going to the shop. Here we go. All right, we're gonna get a little longer here on this one, but we got some more stuff to go over. We're gonna talk about quality over quantity, or should it be quantity over quality? So first off, when I talk about quality in this regard, I'm talking about production value, the time spent, the hours crafting what you're gonna say, the time editing and planning and all of this stuff that you put into it. That's the quality. I'm not talking about the actual message, the content. Like, I'm not saying put out crap content. I'm saying your content should be always quality and valuable. Maybe some more than others. I get it. But I'm not saying sacrifice the quality of your content, but the time you spend putting your content together, that's the difference in quality. So, quality or quantity? I say quantity, and here's why. With quantity, it's going to allow you to, one, just improve yourself. Like, the more videos I've done, the better I've got at them. You're just going to improve. Also, the more you post, the sooner you get back feedback. Sooner you can see what people like and don't like and what your audience responds to. So, quantity over quality. The other reason, and I've kind of alluded to it earlier, is you don't know when the platforms are going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to take this video to the, and show it to all of these people, and it's just going to get all this momentum. And usually it's the video that you think is so good, you've crafted it, it's so witty and perfect, and you have it, and you post it, and it goes nowhere. It doesn't get any momentum. And then there's that one afterthought idea you had saved in your drafts that you're like, I'll post this. And that's the one that goes viral. And you're like, what the hell? So that's why I'm saying you can't control what the platforms are going to do. Like with Reels, this week I posted three Reels. Out of the three, the one that I was like, I was excited to post it. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good one. It was one of the worst performing videos I have put out. And then the other two, which I'm like, I don't think these are going to be that great. Actually, the one that I thought was the worst has been the best performing. In fact, I put it out this morning. It's already got like thousands of views. I'm like, well, what the heck? So you just don't know. You don't know. The other piece is you do need to watch the numbers. I said earlier, don't watch the numbers and get emotional about them. Know what numbers you need to watch. Know your audience and create content that they will want. Well, how do you know your audience and how do you create content that they want? Well, one is to post often and to watch the feedback. As you're posting, what are people responding to? What do you convey best? What do they respond to that you're talking about? What do they want to hear from you? Because you might want them to know this, but they don't want to know that. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear this. They want to hear this other thing you're talking about. You don't know that unless you're watching the numbers, unless you're looking at like, oh, okay, I posted this content and now I'm getting this, so I can kind of measure. All right. Some tools that are going to make your life easier when it comes to social media and posting. These are tools that you can load up posts, batch your content, put all of these posts in there, schedule it, and they're going to post for you on all your different platforms. Okay, these are the top ones. There's a million of them out there. Buffer, Social Post, Lumi, Sprout Social, Later, Tailwind, and Canva. A lot of people don't know about Canva. There is a new one that has come out, an AI, artificial intelligence, that is called Social Studio.ai. This works with Instagram, and what it does is it will create Instagram content and post for you, and it's decent content, and you can schedule it and post it. So there you go. You're starting to run out of excuses on posting. I guess we all are running out of excuses. And then the last thing, how to avoid burnout. This is it. This is the number one thing that happens. People post, they get on these highs, they go. They don't think they're getting the results that they want, and they burn out and they stop. So in order to do that, or in order to avoid that, you need to have a plan that works for you. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter what the platforms say you need to do. If that doesn't work for you, then it's not going to work. So have a plan that works for you. And that's that. Batch your content. So if you have a plan, put that plan to work for you and batch your content. A quick way to batch your content, just this high level, we probably do a whole episode on this, and I probably do need to wrap this up. But to batch your content, basically what you want to do is first know your goal and what you're trying to achieve. Create your content around that goal. When you start creating and batching your content, just come up with headline ideas. Just brainstorm, brain dump a ton of headline ideas. Tweak them, align them, figure out which ones kind of work together, which ones are going to be which ones you like the best, and then start creating the content around that. So now you're going in to say, okay, I've got all of these. I'm going to do these 5 videos today, or this 5 posts today, and go and create those ideas, create the content. Then the next step is to, once you have those created, then put together the content for it, the verbiage, the captions that are going to go with it, the hashtags, get all that together, store it in whatever system or software you're using, and then put it into your batching software, or your auto posting software, and that's it. That's how you do it. Okay, that was really fast, but the other last thing I'm going to leave you with, don't let the numbers drive your emotions. Have a goal, know what your goal is, and know what indicators you need to be looking at to see what's working and what's not working. Because you're going to post stuff out there that's not going to work. You're going to fail, and that's good. You want to fail, and you want to fail fast. You want to adjust, and you're not going to know all of that if you're not watching the numbers. But if you're watching the wrong numbers and you're letting your emotions drive your actions, then you're going to burn out and you're going to stop short. And you're going to miss the golden opportunities. I know that's hard. I fall into the trap all the time. So if I were to leave you with one takeaway, it's consistency and avoid the burnout, because social media can be a beast. All right, that is today's episode. I hope you found this super valuable. And I'm excited to hear how some of these things that we talked about today are impacting your business. And if you have any questions, always feel free to drop a comment. Let me know, DM me. I'm always here to answer any questions you have. If you thought this was valuable, please like and share it, subscribe, send it to your friends. We'll see you in the next episode.